Hey everyone, so here I am to answer my own thread, okay? I really appreciate the responses so far. It was what I was hoping for. I was hoping to hear people getting reflective, thoughtful, and being willing to share some personal things. Um, I honestly do believe that besides this being just a form of an outlet of social interaction and entertainment, that our interactions here can actually help to make things better. I really do. And that's a big part of what my agenda is about, period. Okay. So the question was, um, well, I'll rephrase it because I said it, but it's one question, but in two parts. So if I were to rephrase it, I would ask it like this: is music just entertainment for you, or do you learn something from it? Have you learned anything really valuable from music or a song or songs that's helped you in life? That's what I was trying to ask. And you guys got it. Um, I just really appreciate you all sharing on the real level. And so my answer is, without a doubt, music is a universal language and so much more than entertainment. It is entertainment, but it is so much more. Music is food. Music is nutrition for me. Music is literally a reason to live at times. It's a teacher, it's a healer, it's an encyclopedia, it's a thesaurus, it's a professor, it's a hip teacher on the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's everything. I really appreciate how people have shared how their lives were shaped from childhood by the music and its relation to them and the and growing. So I want to share some music that I can remember because I get a lot from a lot of music in a lot of different ways, a lot, always, which has something to do with why there's some music I just really, if I have the choice, I will not listen to it. If it's a social situation and that's what's going on, I can appreciate it in the setting, but alone, keep that shit away from me, okay? So, with that in mind, again, I've been racking my mind to try to remember what are some of those songs that when I was a little boy, I literally learned things like how to cross the street safely or, how to smile and be courteous. I can't think of the songs. They weren't children's songs, they were songs I heard on the radio. And it was something in the words that just woke me up. But to get to the pile of records I want to share and what I've learned from them and continue to learn, I'm going to first go with some musical examples. The first example I want to use is I've learned valuable lessons about life and spirituality through John Coltrane, and specifically this album, Cosmic Music. A Love Supreme weighs heavy, but this one even more so for me. John Coltrane was described by some as going way out there, trying to chase spirituality, that he just kind of lost touch with the planet, that he was just reaching. I say he connected because after listening to this many times, I've had this a long time. This is on his label. I know this is really rare. John Coltrane taught me about the value of reaching deep within and without to make a primordial connection. Literally, at times when I'm completely open and relaxed and listening to this and some of his other more spiritual music, it's like I can hear the connection being made. Like here's the sound of here's the sound of his horn, and it's like a cord reaching up to this silver cord. Have you ever heard that silver cord reference to the thread that runs through all life? And literally, I can hear it when it starts to connect, and then boom, you hear it. And it's hard to put into words what I learned from that, but all of a sudden the music becomes more than music. It becomes colors, it becomes shapes, it becomes a literal feeling that takes me up with it. And it elevates my entire being, and it reinforces the idea of not being connected to spirit ever. That's something very valuable that I've learned from this, and I have another example where it was, and it continues to be reinforced, the importance of understanding my humanity and my spirit are one, and that the connection is real and can be reinforced and can also be diminished. Another musician whose music, I'll never forget the first time I got all the way through this and what happened to me. I don't know if I can explain it, but Albert Eiler Trio, Spiritual Unity, they caught the sound, literally, on this record of the light bulb going off. There's a point here where the intensity of the improvisation in Albert and the trio vibing so strong on the one focus that they're focused on, that it's like physics in the room change, and you hear things like, it's like, are there tones in there? Is that an electric tone? Any of you folks that have ever listened to this all the way through, this is really a journey to get through. You'll know what I'm talking about. It gets to a point where it's like the music kind of transcends just the trio, and it's like, I don't know what I'm hearing, but it's like the experience is like the light bulb goes on. The light bulb goes on literally, and it's like, boom! Okay? Yeah, I learned that from this. Now let's go a little more literal to music and words. Now, I've said in many of my videos that the music for me comes first, and it does, but words are very important too. But if the music's happening for me, then I can ignore the words. But someone whose words I think transcend him as an individual is Bob Dylan. And now you don't hear me talking about Bob Dylan much because I don't listen to him. For me, he's really hard to listen to. Musically, Bob Dylan's music is, there's nothing for me to listen to, okay? What there is for me to listen to is the lessons in many of his words. I honestly believe that Bob Dylan was a conduit, like all of us, but there was a time when his receptors were wide open, and he was saying things that even he didn't completely understand. One of the songs I have in mind in particular that I wanted to understand and have gone back to over and over again until it finally taught me and continues to teach me is the song Blowing in the Wind. Those words, I think, transcend Bob Dylan. They are so deep. You know, how many times must, I can't even say the words now, but the question, those questions about injustice, those questions about what does it take for mankind to wake up? And then the answer is Blown in the Wind. That's profound as hell, because he's telling, even if he doesn't know it, the answer to the question is right there. I hear the answer. And we see the answer being played out as we speak. How much suffering must man go through before he wakes up? And the answer is, we're not going to wake up. We're just going to go through this. That's what's happening. Bob Dylan, profound teacher beyond even his own comprehension, I think. I don't know. I'd love to meet. Dylan is one of those people that I wish that I could meet and talk to, that I probably obviously never will. Michael Jackson was another person that I wish that I could have met. I know that if I could have met him somehow, could have been a helpful person to him. I know I could have been, but okay, that's a whole other thing. Let's get back to songs and music. Music that has taught me valuable lessons. This is one that goes back to childhood that I can remember. And it'll seem trivial at first, but let me explain. This is my beat-up copy of Sly and the Family Stone's Greatest Hits. Who did this belong to? Matthews. I probably even know who this person is. I think this was given to me. But the song that I'm speaking about in particular on this album is Everyday People. Of course, a lot of his songs, in a very simple way, said very profound things. Now, what was the lesson that I learned from Everyday People? Was simply that that we're all the same and that we've got to live together. It wasn't just a cliche to me. It wasn't just him, we got to live together. Ooh, that sounds cool. No, I took it seriously. Can we figure out how to live together? Because we're all just people, everyday people. No one is above anyone else except in their minds. And because of the way that the world is and valuables and material, people can place themselves above others because of what they own. And look at this tragic mess that the global economy is in because the haves are not letting it go. Ain't letting it go, folks. Y'all better wake up. They're not letting it go. Everything, the infrastructure that we count on is going to straight to hell. It's not going to be saved. It might take a long time, but the 1% that could seriously impact some change if they would get on board ain't doing it. Okay. Did I learn that from music? Partially, yeah. Partially, yeah. Let me keep going. I got a few more here, okay? I really hope that more of you folks respond to this thread. I really would like to know your answer. Is music just entertainment? I mean, if it is, it's fine. Let me say this. There is no right or wrong answer to this question. It's a question. I want to know. I want to learn from you, okay? There's no right or wrong answer. If music is merely entertainment for you, that's fine. Share with me. But I know that music has the ability to be profound in our lives, and I want to hear about that. This next record was so significant because he got up and said it in public, and I learned a lot from that, and it saved a big part of me as a person. James Brown. Now, civil rights was going on before he made this record, and people, the first time I heard the term Black Power was long before I heard this. But when James Brown went ahead with the power that he had and the notoriety that he had to make a record that says, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. At that time in history in the world, totally significant. I've said it many times. I will continue to say it. And if it's uncomfortable for you to hear it, I kind of want that because I had to live it. And all you have to do is listen to it. But coming up through the 50s and 60s as a black person in the Midwest was treated like absolute dog shit. I can remember getting stoned as a child on the way to school, trying to just walk to school, being stoned by adults, okay? Merely because of the color of my skin. I ain't gonna go there. So I had some pretty tragic things happen, okay? I'm not gonna go there, but I'm just gonna say that when James Brown said this and affirmed the fact that as a African-American person with brown skin, whatever you want to call it, I have worth. And not only do I feel it, someone saying it publicly, I learned a lot about personal pride and about being willing to just be myself. It was shortly after this that my older sister and I got involved in the Black nationalist movement and joined the Black Panthers. And that's a whole other story, quite the story. There's a whole file on me in the Library of Congress. I've said it before, followed by the FBI. I don't know how long those people wasted money following and documenting every damn thing I did as a child, just because I was in the Black Panthers. So that's another record that James Brown in many other ways has taught me too. I could go on. Actually, I could do a course on this. Like some of y'all say, well, you should be a professor. Well, as a mental health professional, the better part of my career where I work at, I taught classes, and now I'm out in the field and doing it one-to-one. But I love teaching. I do, actually. The next song, that the sentiment of it, the directness of the words, the music, and the timing of it, I thought, this is what we need. I'm listening to this. I'm learning from this. I hope the world is. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. When they put this out, Deja Vu, teach your children. Now, I can't even recall the words right now to share with you. I know you're on the road, teach your children well. I mean, the basic essence of the message, which is, it's up to you to ensure our future by how you handle your kids. So teach them. And I thought it was profound, you know, to hear a popular song that's actually saying something with real value and encouraging us to do something for the sake of everyone. 2 more records and I'm done. And I sincerely hope that more of you answer this thread. Another person whose songs have taught me, Brother Neil Young. And for me, it started with this album. A Man Needs a Maid, Old Man Look at My Life, The Needle and the Damage Done. Just the images alone, as you're listening to the songs and the images that it brings up, there's a lot that I've learned from that and a lot to be learned. And I can switch off and just hear that wonderful voice of his. A man needs. I can just listen to that. But man, that man is trying to tell you something. There's a reason why Neil Young is a living legend. The man is deep as hell. Deep. So when he put out the song Southern Man, that was so important to me as a black person to hear him with his that white voice capturing the pain. How did he do it? I hear the bullwhips cracking, you know, and you hear it in his voice. It's like somehow Neil has put himself down there. He knows. He knows. And consequently, when Leonard Skinner responded to that with Sweet Home Alabama, you know, something I learned from that. I used to be in a band that played Leonard Skinner with my black ass. I played the music, but you know, I don't know if what I got from that line in Sweet Home Alabama is what they meant. But I know that's what it meant to me as a black man when they say, I hope Neil Young will remember, a Southern man don't need him around anyhow. You know, I got a real strong message out of that. But I'm still a loving enough person to still love the music of Leonard Skinner. How about that? Yeah, that's something I've learned from music as well as life in general. It's just to transcend. It has part to do with my deep love of metal, specifically speed metal, black metal, music from Europe, the Nordic countries. You know, it's like, obviously with this black skin, I wasn't a Viking, but my heart recognizes the Viking. Does that make sense? Some of y'all think I'm nuts, don't you? The same with the Japanese. It's like, ain't nothing Japanese looking about this, but I hear their music, especially the traditional music, koto and some of those women, the way they sing, ooh, ooh, touches my soul. Touches my soul. The last album I will present is an album that, for me, was a smorgasbord of valuable learning experiences through the music itself and also the words. And I said it many times, and some of you people that know me already know what I'm going to show. Yep, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This album was the soundtrack to me literally becoming an adult in many, many ways. And one of the songs that I want to point out that has words that are simple and yet so profound for me was The Chamber of 32 Doors. If you have this record, listen to it and listen to the words, but I just want to go here right quick. Just check this out, people. At the top of the stairs, there's hundreds of people running around to all the doors. They try to find themselves an audience. Their deductions need applause. What do I get from that? That is an example of everyone with their religions, with their ways of thinking, running around trying to say, hey, do it like this. There's only one way. I got the way, and you need to listen to me. And none of them know what the hell they're talking about. Check this out. I got to keep going. The rich man stands in front of me. The poor man behind my back. They believe they can control the game, but the juggler holds another pack. Man, that's why I say the shit that I say. You know, we are not in control, and we just are not willing to face and deal with the fact that this way of life that we've chosen, this capitalism, has run its course. And if we're going to have a brighter future, we have to face the fact that we don't have all the answers, and it's time for something completely different. That's what I say. It won't happen, but okay. Um, I need someone to believe in, someone to trust. Don't we all feel that? Okay. And that's where religion gets us. Okay. I will not stop speaking out against my concerns about organized religion, just taking people in like sheep. Um, okay. Here's the next part. I love this. This is the line that just, it reverberates still to this day. I'd rather trust a countryman than a town man. You can judge by his eyes. Take a look if you can. He'll smile through his guard. Survival trains hard. Are you feeling me yet, anybody? And let me go. I'd rather trust a man that works with his hands. He looks at you once, you know he understands. You don't need any shield when you're out in the field. Man. So, that's what I was trying to get to, is the importance to me of what music can bring, how it can enrich your life, how you can go to school at home every day, every night with your record collection, unless you just have a record collection that's just full of crap. And I'm not going to name it. I think you people know what I'm talking about when I make those references. Music that's just basically entertainment. Nothing wrong with it, but if you want a little bit more, there's more there. And that's another thing I'll say that I learned from music, is that music has an intelligence. Some music sounds smart. Some music sounds stupid. There's no right or wrong. I'm just saying. Okay? Man, the time, where does it go? I hope I haven't taken too much of your time, folks. And please, I hope to hear more responses from this thread. Thank you so much for listening and being my friends. Thank you very much.